Hey guys, it's Duel here. Today, I want to talk to you about Infernal Hordes, the newest seasonal mechanic, and actually will also be the eternal mechanic for the future of Diablo 4. So let's get into it. So when you first get into, I believe it's Royal Tier 3, you'll end up getting these Infernal Compasses, and they're basically like Nightmare Dungeon keys. You'll receive them by doing the seasonal quest line, and once you finish the seasonal quest line, just finish it completely, do everything that the season asks you to do, and you'll get the compass. And once you get the compass, you can start doing these Infernal Hordes. They'll take you here to this dungeon that I'm fighting, and it's really quite simple. You start to kill the main demon in the center of the room, the horde will start, and then there'll be objectives throughout the room, as you can see on the screen. And every time you complete a wave, you'll have to select a boon or a bane. Now, what's important about these boons and banes is that every time you select a boon, there's a positive effect and a negative effect. If you ever played Vampire Survivors, it's kind of like that, except in Vampire Survivors you get like a power up only, right? In this, it's a positive and a negative. And so the best way to optimize the Infernal Hordes is really just by spamming the Hellborn every single time you see a Hellborn boon. That is the best way to get the most Aether when you finish out these rooms. And what's Aether, you might be asking? So Aether, if you see on the screen here, there's these little red pieces of ash. Those are the pieces of Aether you get from killing the Hellborn, or the Aether Lords and Aether Fiends. Now, Aether Fiends and Aether Lords just simply aren't worth it. At least as I'm speaking right now, in the state of the game, they are not worth it. Now, they might get buffed later this week or in the future, where they'll drop more Aether, and you'll see why Aether is important very soon. So basically what happens is you go in this room, you kill a bunch of mobs, you pick a boon or a bane, you pick Hellborn, and then you get a bunch of Aether. At the end of the wave, or the end of, all 9 waves, you go to the final room, you fight what's called the Fell Council, defeat all 3 of those guys, and then you get to open some different chests. The main chests that are in there are what's gold, some materials that you can craft, or use for crafting rather, a guaranteed GA or greater affix chest, and then another one is just opening a chest with legendaries in it. So usually what I like to do is when I'm done finishing all the waves and I've killed the Fell Council and I've gotten my fair share of Aether, I like to first grab the GA chest, the greater affix chest, and then I usually go for crafting. And the reason that is, or at least on tier 7. So as you can see, I'm on tier 7. You're on tier 7, this is the best wave that you can do. The best difficulty. Tier 8, I don't really think it's worth it. In my opinion, I could be wrong on that, but I've done tier 8, and I really I don't like it. It's not worth the time. The mobs just have way too much health, and it's just not worth the time that you have to play the game. So what's worth your time is tier 7. Spamming the Hellborns and just juicing the Hellborns over and over. You can get so much Aether. As you can see here, it's wave 4 and I've already got 109. That's actually not bad starting out. The one thing I will say is that you won't get Hellborn every time. You'll have different runs where sometimes you won't even get 400 Aether. If you're lucky, you'll get like 209, maybe 300. It's just a bad run. I will say the other good boons that you can pick is the Hellfire Rain. I think it's what it's called. Because when you get the Hellfire Rain, you pick that one. And eventually what it'll do is on the next boon, you'll get... I'm sorry, I'm losing it. You will get Hellborn spawning. And you want more Hellborns to spawn because you can juice those Hellborns to get more Aether. The other good one that's really good is choosing the Hellborn, and when the Hellborn invigorates you. When you get this one, it powers you up and it makes you really strong. So you can run around the map and just destroy everything. And by the way, if you're wondering what build I'm running, this is the Lightning Spear Sorcerer build. And it's very powerful. It might be the best build in the entire game right now, and it's great for clearing out these hordes. So yeah, as you can see, we're on wave 5. I'm at 172 Aether, and yeah, we're doing pretty good here with all these Hellborns. So the more you juice the Hellborn, the more Aether you're gonna get. Now Blizzard hasn't addressed this yet. Maybe they'll address it this week. That's the plan. But hopefully, you know, they've seen the feedback and they'll end up, you know, making the other Aether mobs drop better Aether. The other thing to point out is currently the Greater Affix chest is actually bugged out. It's supposed to guarantee you a Greater Affix item, but it's not for some reason. And so that's really weird. So hopefully they fix that as well. One final thing before I wrap it up is that the way that I do it to maximize your profits here is I usually open up the guaranteed GA chest, then I open the crafting materials, and then I wait till I have about 100 Aether left, and then I open the gold. And on tier 7, you're going to get probably like between 15 20 mil gold. So that's a lot. So you can get a bunch of crafting materials, mainly neat iron, which is really, really good. And I will say that it pretty much doing this over and over invalidates doing the pit. You get, especially if you have a really good run where you have like 800 Aether, you just sit there and open the crafting chest over and over, you can leave this dungeon probably close to like 400, 500 neat iron. And if you're, you know, if you can't get to tier 7, that's also fine. If you do tier 6, I believe it gives you Inglith, and you can just use that to pump up your equipment until you get strong enough to run tier 7, and then you can run neat iron. I will also say that sometimes the crafting chest will drop Stygian stones. It doesn't drop any other boss mats, just the Stygian stones, but it'll drop you a bunch of abyssal scrolls as well, so you can upgrade your compasses, which are dropping from everywhere. You'll get so many of these, you'll end up probably salvaging them just like I have. And then you can juice those up with the abyssal scrolls, so you can do tier 6, tier 7. You can do tier 8 if you want, but personally, I don't think it's worth it. I think tier 7 is probably the best. That'll probably be what most, you know, the content creators say. But I do think that, I think I read somewhere that Blizzard plans on adding tier 9 and tier 10. I don't really know how it's going to work unless they end up nerfing tier 7 and 8. Like they nerfed 8, 7, 6, 5. You get the idea. They nerf those and hopefully rebalancing how the Aether works between the different Aether mobs. So anyway, that's going to about wrap it up here for this video. But before we go, I wanted to show you just how much you'll get here. We're killing off Ismail the Accursed. Here we go. He's almost dead. And there he goes. Nice. So we've killed the Fell Council, and now you're going to see what I do. So the first thing I do here is I grab the middle chest, which is the quote-unquote guaranteed GA chest. So I'll go ahead and grab what you want. And then I go over to the crafting chest, the spoils of materials. And you just do this. Look how much I have. I have over 800 Aether. So you can sit here and just grab all the mats until you get what you need. And then you wrap it up and you grab that little tiny chest at the end. I have about 100 Aether left. And then I just get gold. Or you can do 200 if you want even more gold. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.